Hi ladies and gents, Lord of Pontail here with another video for Rise of Empires, Ice and Fire. Today it's the next installment in my season hero guides. We're on SX2 heroes and today we'll be looking at the second SX2 hero, which is a Footmen hero. And it's this fella here, it's Dach Tengri, or Batu as is his short name, but I don't think I know anyone that calls him Batu. So as I say, he is a Footmen hero, he's a support hero, so he can actually work on any row. Dutchy, but we'll have a look at what he's why you could put him on any row, but generally you probably won't. So on to his skills. Of course, skill 1 is dictator, usual leadership skill, increasing the troop number in your legion by up to 23,100. His first hero specific skill, skill 2, the gods protect. It's a combat skill. Has an effective range of 4, but it will only target one random enemy squad within effective range. Good point is it's 100% chance. Bad point is it is a combat skill, so if you're up against an opponent who has silencing ability, it's going to stop this working. What does this skill do? Well, it's got a variety of buffs and debuffs to your opponent and then also to your own two friendly squads in your own legion. So it's going to initially target that one random enemy squad and it will reduce, let's just go into the information icon actually, it will reduce by up to 60%, it will make them take 6% additional damage, it will reduce the damage they deal by 6%, and then it's going to reduce their combat speed by 38. And then basically it just takes those debuffs from the opponent and you buff 2 random friendly squads, so they'll be taking 6% less damage. I think this wording is wrong. It says deal minus 6% additional damage. Surely that's not going to be a benefit to you. I think they mean they should deal 6% positive additional damage, right? And then it will increase the combat speed by 38 for 1 turn. So you've got a 12% swing and on the damages and 76 on the combat speed. So that's going to be nice if it activates, because it's highly likely then that 2 of your squads will be going first each turn, which is important because you can deal that damage to the opponent, reduce their troops before they have the opportunity to reduce yours. So there's quite a lot going on, but it's not huge amounts here. You know, if you're up against, say, a cavalry legion that's got Rose and Blade in it, where she's buffing 100 combat speed, then this skill is not going to make a difference. 6% damage, it's minimal. You know, it's not huge amounts. So I'm not sure how much impact this skill has. I guess accumulatively across the battle, if it is activating every turn, it's worth it. But if you're up against squads that have got people that are going to silence you, as I say, it might not be that useful. Skills 3 and 4 are the usual leadership skills for defensive formation, giving you extra 50% resistance, and for skill 4 it's up to the maximum of 50% extra might. Skill 5, the God's Smite. So this is a prep skill, and its effective range is 5. It will target 2 random enemy squads within effective range. And starting from turn 4, each turn there is a maximum of up to 70% chance to make 2 random enemy squads within range not able to recover troops. So this is a troop recovery block. So it's like a debuff skill in effect. So, you know, if you've got any of those, I don't know, say if you're up against another Footman Legion which has got Scander in it or Bleeding, both heroes that recover troops, there's a high potential after turn 4 for the second half of the battle, you're going to stop them actually being able to recover their troops, which could make the difference. Or if you're up against a Cavalry Legion that's got Lawman or has got Windwalker, Army Breaker, you know, these kind of heroes again that have their troop recovery, this is going to give you well, it's not. It's going to give you an added edge, isn't it? And this then, interestingly, also, apart from debuffing your opponent, it will also reduce damage taken by 2 random friendly squads by 25%, and that's a set amount, no matter what level the skill you have it upgraded at. So, debuffing the opponent again and buffing your own troops. So I would say that is a good skill if you're up against a legion that has troop recovery. Of course, if you don't, then it's not really having an impact, is it? Skill 6, he's going to give you an up to 15% extra resistance and 15% extra HP, plus the usual 250% bonus to leadership skills. Because of this, I would advise that you probably do want to put Dach Tengri on your front row, because he's got these defensive elements, these blocking elements that's going to protect the troops, both parts of his 6th skill. So that's really good. And then his 7th skill as well is the defensive order. So it's going to give up to 40% additional resistance to the footmen in the whole squad. I'm still wanting to know whether this is the correct wording, because the wording for the defensive order for the 7th skills, which are defensive orders, this says squad, while the offensive formation order always says legion. And it's my understanding that this 7th skill should always impact all 3 squads in the legion. So I'm still not sure about this wording, but he's giving even more resistance anyway, which is going to be good if you're putting me on the front row. 8th skill, Grasslands Roar. It's another prep skill, and so it's going to activate, and it's kind of immune to that silencing effect. So targets 2 random friendly squads within effective range. That's why its range is 2. And the first 3 turns, each turn gives 2 random friendly squads up to a maximum of 7% increased damage. The effect is stackable. So what will happen is turn 1, you're giving 7% increased damage to 2 of your squads. Then turn 2, it's 14%. Then turn 3, it's 21%. And then it goes at 21% until the end of the battle. And then starting from turn 4, it's another splash status. So Dach is one of the 2 or 3 heroes in the game that has this splash status, where he is going to then, basically, it's an automatic counter. So after basic attacks, it will deal 40% damage to 2 enemy squads in the back until the end of the battle. So from turns 4, your basic attacks will cause additional damage, and they're hitting all 3 rows, all 3 squads of your opponent. So let's have a look at Dach in action. Now, I do have Dach, but he's nowhere near finished. I only have 1 duplicate of him. So we're going to go into Heroes Duel, and we're going to look at Keeney, who was up against a very tough opponent, the Emperor of State 70. But you'll see here, Keeney does have Dach in his footman formation, and he is finished as well. So let's go along to there. Yeah. So Dach doesn't have any direct killing skills. That's the other thing. So you're not going to get a lot of impact from him in that regard. Skills used in this battle, 5. So that tells you that there was quite a lot of silencing, because the prep skills 5 and 8, they're only going to activate at the start. And then his God's Protect skill, even though it's 100%, so in theory that should have activated 8 times, but it's only activated 3 times. So that's just something to look out for. So we're going to start watching the battle now. Of course, it's hard to tell. There we go. So that's his 2, the God's Smite and Grasslands, both activated prior to the battle because they're the prep skills. It's hard to tell which squads are being impacted by the buff and debuff elements of his first skill, and also actually the 5th skill, because there's going to be no indicator to that. That'll be one difficulty. You'll see that the opponent has got the Warlord Roku Living Saint combination, and so none of them are recovery heroes, but you can see that Roku has used his silencing skill, so Takeji Zaiten. So you're going to see that a few times, and that's why we won't see Dach's second skill activating all the time, God's Protect all the time. And then it's going to activate again. Roku's skill is activated again, so that is quite a debilitating impact that it's having on the whole Legion, actually, because it's hitting all three of them. None of them have a counter against being silenced. So we're on turn 3 now. We're about to hit turn 4, and now we'll see the additional damage being done once the troops in this section start doing their basic attacks. Okay, he got a God's Protect off that time. And then do you see those 2 minus reds? Those attacks that are just in the red font colour. So there we go, minus 362, minus 424. That is the splash attack impacting on the opponent. So it's okay. It's doing what, and the opponent's losing about 800 troops. Now, even when you'll see though, even when an opponent is when your heroes are silenced, this prep skill is still activating, so you can still see that damage is being taken. The splash effect is working. That's because silencing doesn't impact on prep skills. It only impacts on skills that are going to have the chance-based combat skills that would have to activate during the turn. Luckily, and then he gets off another God's Protect there, so you're going to have those buff debuff working, which is why your troops are going to get it. Well, should be getting in ahead on that turn up against your opponent. But these cavalry troops are just too strong for this combination of footmen, and Roku has silenced them again, and we're basically at the end of the battle. So we're just going to fast forward that, and Dach is gone. So in terms of looking at battles, it is tough to see his direct impact on the battle, apart from, as I said, watching those red figures coming up from turn 4, where the splash attacks are impacting on the middle and back rows of your opponent. And also if you were against an opponent who would usually have heroes who can do recovery, then if the 5th skill activates, if the God Smites, this 70% chance, if that activates, then, as I say, you'll see that their heroes that have recovery hopefully won't be activating either. So that is Dach in action. Let's talk about him in terms of the usual kind of things like formations. As I say, for me, he is a bit of a bulldog. He's got all of this extra resistance and the HP. I think really the best place for him would be in the middle, but he is usable elsewhere because of this range 4 and the range 5. So if you needed to move, if you don't have a middle or back row footman hero, you can put him on the middle or back. You saw that Keeney was using him on the middle. That's not going to impact his ability on the battle, unlike some other heroes that have shorter range skills. In terms of combinations, I think considering he doesn't do a lot offensively, you've got to put him with at least one hero, preferably 2 heroes that are doing some kind of damage to the opponent. So, at the high end, you're talking, you could put him Dach on the front, Skander, middle, and then Steed on the back row. I think you could probably do Dach, Steed, Storm, Desert Storm. You could probably use him even like a lot of what Keeney had there. You could have what was Keeney's combination? It was Soaring Hawk, Dach, Iron Hand. I mean the Iron Hand, Jade, Storm. They all those back row heroes, even Valkyrie, they have offensive elements to them. And then you could put Dach behind, like I say, Soaring Hawk, or I think Cicero. He'd probably be okay behind Cicero. There's various combinations where you could put him on the front or the middle, because he has that range. Is all of those combinations going to be brilliant? I don't think so. Like I say, if he's getting silenced, you're not getting a lot out of this. 70% chance again. For troop recovery, it's nice, but what if you're not up against someone that's got troop recovery? Then this skill is defunct. You know, it's void effectively. And skill 8, the splash status, it does a little bit, but it's not a great amount, is it? If you saw the values that we were witnessing in the battle, you're talking about an extra 600 kills per attempt, so 1,800 kills around. What's that? That's about 10,000 in total for the whole battle, and you've got to kill 300,000. So it's not, the impact of that skill is probably 3 or 4% additional kills. That's not a lot, is it? So he's in theory he's nice, and he is very like beefy, tanky. He is going to help protect, but he's just not. He's not got any kind of absolute killer elements to his abilities, unfortunately. So there we go, guys. That is everything on Dach Tengri. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you have, please do drop a like down there for me. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. Got 2 very key hero reviews coming up next in Army Breaker and Avalanche. Absolute elite cavalry heroes that I'll be covering. I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for those reviews. And if you could please share my channel in your Alliance chat, Province chat, and through Line, WhatsApp, Viber, Discord, whatever you use to communicate with everyone that you play the game with, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.